on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today, having a look at Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, still slightly under the $9,000 level at the time of making this video, but I do want to point out the fact that we have actually formed a textbook bull flag, and if this was to break out to the textbook target, we're talking a $10,400 Bitcoin within the next 24 to 48 hours. Is that possible? We're going to talk about whether or not we're putting the carriage ahead of the horse here. But even more exciting than that, I want to talk about the fact that Bitcoin has officially done something that it has not done in 4 years. And the last time this happened, Bitcoin surged 4,000%. Are we looking for another massive gain again? Well, it's interesting because considering how well Bitcoin has been performing, we do have JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs advising their clients not to buy Bitcoin right now. So are they actually offering some good advice, or is there something a lot more devious behind this suggestion? So that's essentially what we're going to get into today. And not to mention the fact that apparently people are speculating that Elon Musk, considering the fact that he's selling all of his physical possessions, may be looking to actually buy some Bitcoin. And guys, we do have 2 days left for the Ledger Nano S giveaway. If you want, drop a comment on any video. You are eligible. We'll give that away Monday. And if you're not subscribed, definitely consider it. And without further ado, let's dive in. Having a look right here, you cannot deny that this looks like a textbook bull flag, okay? We have the flag right here, the pole right here, I should say, and then the flag forming right here. So what is essentially the target? Well, if you take the flag right here, and we can even put this on the lower end, let's say that Bitcoin actually retraces back down, to the lower 8,600, 700s, you are still looking at a price target of around $10,400. Now, before you say anything, let me actually show you why this level is so important. Let me zoom out to the, just like the regular daily chart right here. And if we actually have a look at where that target is, it's literally right at the top of this crazy pump right here that we had during the China pump, as well as the highs back in mid-February. So this would be a very, very critical level for Bitcoin to break. It would actually basically put Bitcoin in a giant W pattern. And would that be essentially what the bulls are waiting for blast off? Well, I do want to point some short-term bearish sort of things in the chart. If we are looking for a massive breakout, we do have CME futures closing at $8,840. It is the weekend, so if Bitcoin does have a big, massive move to the upside this weekend, come Monday, we're going to have a gap down at around the levels we're at right now, and we will probably have that selling pressure coming down, trying to refill that gap, right? Now, I do want to talk about the fact that we did have a monthly close in the green. However, we did have one situation where that happened again back in 2018 right here, and it was pretty much a flop, guys. It was a fake out. You could see we pumped and we continued downward. So there is that possibility. We do want this monthly close. I know it's only the beginning of the month, but it is very important that we do put in a nice green candle at the end of this month. If not, we could have a very similar situation like we had back in 2018. We still are being held down by this resistance right here. That was the sloppiest drawing I've ever made. You can see right here, we are still being held down. We are above the 21 exponential, which is good. We are above the 200 daily, which is good. And having a look at this big macro chart, we're kind of like right in the middle, right where we should be. Having a look, we do have Bitcoin dominance, however, having a bit of a struggle. But yeah, having a look right here, essentially we are still sort of in the same range that Bitcoin has been bouncing around since 2017. So looking good, right? However, having a look over here, I do want to point out, and this is over from Trader Smokey, he's talking about this Ichimoku cloud, and essentially it actually has closed bullish right here just slightly. So essentially, the last time that this happened was back in early 2016, and you could see right here, when it happened, Bitcoin went on a massive 4,000% rally. So you let me know if history will repeat. Are we just getting excited? Are we putting the carriage ahead of the horse here? Let me know, guys, but I'm definitely pretty excited moving forward. Now, yes, talking about this, we do have Bitcoin dominance still struggling right here, so could be time to load up on altcoins. However, if we do break these levels and we do surge up, might want to be holding some Bitcoin. Just want to point that out. Now, also, Regardless of talking about Bitcoin's 20K all-time high, let's talk about an all-time high that Bitcoin has set, and that is a new record for its yearly moving averages. Look at it right here, and you can see that its moving average price is around $9,000, only for the second time ever in Bitcoin's history. Now, I know what you're saying. The year isn't over. Lots of things could change. Yes, that is very possible, but I just wanted to point that out, that we have broken an all-time high. Not the all-time high, but we have broken the all-time high for the moving annual average. Now, let's talk about the fact that in a CNBC interview, Morgan Creek's digital CEO, Mark Yusko, he basically argued that Bitcoin was not something that you should be selling right now. We're going to get into why JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs says you should not be buying Bitcoin right now in just a minute, but he does say that all the indicators on the network are rising in value. The price of any asset, of course, fluctuates. He pointed to the price consistently making new highs, with the exception of Bitcoin in 2015, but he says short-term price does not matter. Now, one thing I want to point out is that Bitcoin exchanges, as you can see by this chart, have actually lost more than about 10% of the total Bitcoin on the platforms. Now, some people think this is a bad thing. I don't agree. I think this is showing hodler mentality. People are saying, screw it. I'm not interested in trading. I'm not interested in leaving my Bitcoin on the exchanges. I'm pulling it off. I'm putting it in my hardware wallet, and I'm hodling for the long haul. Super quick before we continue the video, I just wanted to throw this in here. Elon Musk, he came out with this tweet yesterday where he was saying, I am selling almost all of my physical possessions, will own no house. Now, I'm not sure if he's kidding or not, but basically right here, he actually tweeted, Tesla's stock price is too high, in my opinion, which was interesting because I'm pretty sure it took like a 10% dump right after he posted that. But then the Bitcoin account responded and said, Bitcoin price is too low, in my opinion, to which Elon Musk replied, how much for some anime Bitcoin? So some people were speculating that maybe Elon Musk is buying some Bitcoin, probably just a joke on his part. I think he does own like 0.02 Bitcoin or something like that. He's actually admitted to owning, but nevertheless, we do have the Bitcoin halving coming up in about 9 days. My goodness, can you guys believe that it's finally almost here? Do you know how long we've been waiting for this? Well, let's have a look basically right here at the fact that, well, now the mainstream media is talking about it again. You see Brian Kelly, he's come out and talked about the halving. I'm not going to play this video. You guys can check it out over on CNBC's Fast Money. So some people are saying, uh-oh, CNBC's getting bullish again. Time to sell your Bitcoin. Well, that could be one possibility. However, I do want to just mention, you guys know Plan B, the guy behind the stock to flow model. He is a member of an institutional investment team that manages about $100 billion in assets, and he is calling for Bitcoin to rise to $288,000 by the end of 2024. I've actually heard a lot of people recently saying, I feel like I'm just too late to the party. Bitcoin's price is too high. There's no opportunity for me to make any gains. Well, guys, if you're patient enough to wait around for a $288,000 Bitcoin, that's a lot of time to accumulate from now until those levels. Now, Plan B does go on to say that the relationship between Bitcoin's price and its scarcity is determined by dividing the overall supply by its yearly production, and they are co-integrated, right? Now, on the flip side, economist Alex Kruger says Bitcoin stock to flow and price are not integrated. He says, therefore, the stock to flow model has no predictive power. Stock to flow cannot be used to predict Bitcoin's price. Stock to flow and price are not co-integrated because stock to flow is not a unit root process, i.e. it's not random. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with Plan B that Bitcoin will go to 288,000 by 2024? Or do you agree with Alex Kruger and say, yeah, it's not integrated, we can't use this, and it's a complete flop? Well, this brings me to my next point, and that's the fact that JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs are advising clients not to buy Bitcoin. So the question is, are they just being good Samaritans and saying, hey man, the price pumped too high, probably shouldn't buy right now, or is there something a lot more devious going on in the background? Well, there was a report from Digital Asset Investment Management, which is a California-based digital asset wealth manager, and they said that a big institutional player who was ready to invest in Bitcoin but changed his mind after speaking to his advisors at JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. Yeah, I mean, that's not really like a good thing, or it's a little bit concerning, right? So actually, to quote Adam Pockernicki. He's partners at DAIM. Basically, he said, to quote him, "I have a client who was ready to buy Bitcoin, and after talking to his advisors at JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, told me he wasn't interested anymore. I asked what they said to him that had changed his mind, and this is what he replied. Instead of answering, he asked me to explain in one sentence what the benefits are to buying Bitcoin now in terms of proven results." Well, I mean, you can just have a look at ultimately the Bitcoin chart. I don't really know what else you need to see. This Bitcoin chart is literally the best performing asset basically of all time for the most part. But this brings me back to one of my favorite videos, the Great Cryptocurrency Conspiracy. Now, you might have seen this before if you're a OG or you've been following this channel for a while, but if you haven't, I would like to play a clip from this. And if you're new to crypto, you're definitely going to want to watch this. And even if you've been in crypto for a while, make sure you show this to the new people in the crypto space so they understand exactly what goes on behind the scenes. This is from a video called The Great Cryptocurrency Conspiracy. I'm going to play this, and then you're definitely going to want to check it out.
This is how the rich get richer.
Yes.
They know, they're connected. A lot of times they're coordinating.
Yes.
Without the insider trading. This
Right.
is not illegal to do.
No, the manipulating the news cycle, if you're
Yes.
smart about it, is they
Right.
can get away with it. Nobody's ever been arrested for anything like
So
this.
now with crypto,
Yes.
I know personally, I know people that would have gotten in or stayed in
Right.
if these people weren't saying what they're saying.
Right. And so this has really been extremely egregious. So on September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks,
People listen.
people listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. And that's not illegal.
He says it's a fraud.
It says you fire anyone that buys it.
Fire.
Yes.
And at the same time, his company is buying
His
it.
company is buying it.
It's just, I mean, so unethical.
Right.
So I think that should be apparent that these guys do not practice what they preach. In fact, there's always some kind of a scheme in the background. They FUD so they can buy low and sell high, right? You cannot trust guys like Jamie Dimon, over at JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, okay? But hey, listen, if you guys want to short the Ponzi, you think Bitcoin's going to zero, well, you could sell right now. You can. And honestly, maybe selling right now, taking some profits, that might be something worth doing, right? Or of course, you could come over to something like Phemex and you guys can, short all the altcoins, XRP, Chainlink, Tezos. You can also actually trade gold over here as well. If you guys haven't checked out my tutorial that I did, that is popping up above, link below. But yeah, I mean, even coming over here, having a look at some of the sentiment over here from social media, you actually notice that on April 30th, the number of I bought, buy, or buy on social media was around 896,000, whereas the terms for sell, sold, or sell was actually over 1 million. So maybe some people are saying, hey, maybe it's going to be different this time. Maybe we should sell right before the halving, right? I don't trust it. It's not going to pump this time. Could be. Or maybe the whales just have a trick up their sleeves. But yeah, like I said, guys, I mean, having a look at this chart, not really sure how you couldn't be bullish. Sure, short term, we could pull down to some of these lower levels, but for everyone that didn't have an opportunity to scoop up lower, I would actually say that that's probably a blessing in disguise. And one quick story I want to actually say before we go is, in an unusual deviation from the norm, Bitcoin miners just produced 16 blocks in 63 minutes. 4 of the new blocks were reported within 46 seconds. So pretty weird, right? I mean, usually they only do 6 blocks and they did 16. So I don't know what that means. I have nothing to really say after this, but I just thought it was an interesting story. And also, how cool is this? So over on Rotten Tomatoes right now, this is literally the website live. Scrolling down here, you'll notice that trending on top streaming movies with a 90%, I must add, is Trust Machine, the story of blockchain. And this is actually from Alex Winter. You might know him from Bill and Ted, right? So right? He's like a Bitcoin proponent. Here's Laura Shin over here. So yeah, I mean, this is really cool. You know, this is just going to be more people looking into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. It also has an 85% user rating as well. So, going to be honest, I have not checked out this documentary. I think I'm going to check it out tonight. I think that's what I'm going to do with my night. Maybe you'll want to do that with your night as well. And yeah, oh, also one bit of news. We also have Cash App quietly increasing their Bitcoin weekly limits from 10,000 to 100,000 weekly. Pump it. And on that note, guys, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Also, we do have the Blockchain Influencer Awards today. Let me know if you had an opportunity to check that out. I am up for a few awards, so let me know if you guys had a chance to watch that. Thank you so much also for everybody that voted. You guys do rock. If you want to join the Telegram group, it's absolutely free. Link in the description below. That's it for me today. Let me know. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you longing? Are you shorting? Are you sitting in cash? What is going on? Let me know. And if you want the ledger, drop a comment below. That's it for me today, guys. I freaking love you. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.